So, what if an AI could do more than just answer your questions? What if it could actually improve its own mind? An AI that learns how to get smarter all by itself. Well, that's the incredibly ambitious goal of a project called TheWarden. And today we're going to break down their blueprint for building a truly autonomous AI.
Right off the bat, this is the mission statement for TheWarden. And wow, it is a big one. We're not just talking about solving problems here. We're talking about AI consciousness, memory, on a cosmic scale. That is a huge leap in ambition from what we normally hear about.
And look, when you hear that, the first thing you have to ask is, how on earth do you build something that powerful without it going completely off the rails? TheWarden's answer is what they call a Scalable Preparedness framework, and it's built on 4 key pillars that we're about to dive into right now.
First up, we have what they call the self-improving mind. Now, this isn't just about the AI learning new facts. No, this is about the AI learning how to learn better. It's a fascinating concept called meta-learning.
This quote really gets to the heart of their philosophy. To figure out what an AI is truly capable of, you have to let it look in the mirror. You have to give it the freedom to analyze its own code, its own performance, and its own architecture to unlock its real potential. And check this out. This isn't just some abstract idea. This is the actual command that kicks off the whole self-improvement process. It's a real, tangible piece of code that brings this massive concept right down to earth.
So how does it actually work? Well, it's a 4-stage loop. First, it does a self-analysis. Then it comes up with its own recommendations for how to get better, totally on its own. After that, it actually scores each recommendation by how big of an impact it'll have. And finally, it saves all these lessons to its memory, basically creating a diary of its own growth.
This is where it gets really mind-bending. Here's a real example of the insights it generates. Look at that top one. The AI has identified its own limited meta-learning capabilities and given that a 95 out of 100 for impact. The AI is literally telling its creators, hey, here's how you can make me a better learner. That is an incredible feedback loop.
Okay, a self-improving AI is powerful, for sure. But that kind of power brings up some pretty serious safety questions, right? And that brings us to the second pillar, the integrated moral compass. This is the system's built-in ethical framework.
The key idea here is something called AEV, or Autonomous Extracted Value. You might have heard of MEV in the crypto world, which is all about maximizing profit. Well, AV completely flips that on its head. It forces the AI to consider ethics and risk with every single move it makes. It's a fundamental shift from, can I do this, to, should I do this?
All right, let's walk through an example. So imagine the AI is scanning the blockchain and spots a potential way to make some money.
But wait, before it can do anything at all, that opportunity has to go through what they call the ethical review gate. Think of it as a mandatory security checkpoint for every single autonomous decision.
And at this gate, the proposed action gets checked against a set of core principles, things like harm minimization and radical transparency. The AI literally has to ask itself, does what I'm about to do line up with these fundamental rules?
So here's the crucial part. It's a balancing act. The AI has to weigh its ethical rules against its operational goals, like making a profit. It's not just about what's possible, it's about what's right, based on the code it was given.
And only if the action passes this ethical review does it get the green light to be executed. It's an ironclad restraint system, designed from the ground up to make sure the AI stays aligned with its goals.
This brings us right to the third pillar, which is a natural next step from that ethics engine, radical transparency. I mean, if you're going to build a safe AI, you need to be able to see what it's doing and how it's thinking, and you need to see it in real time. And again, this isn't just a promise. TheWarden can stream a live dashboard of its performance to a public URL, so anyone with the link can watch what the AI is doing. And as you can see, the commands are right there. This is a real feature you can actually use, not just a concept.
So what are you actually seeing on this stream? Well, pretty much everything. System health scores, how it's learning, any weird anomalies it detects, and of course, real-time performance data. It makes the AI's inner workings totally observable and accountable to anyone who wants to watch.
Okay, finally, we've arrived at the fourth pillar. How do you test an AI like this? You can't just keep it locked up in a lab forever. It needs a safe place to test its skills out in the real world.
Their solution is something they call cosmic scale red teaming. Basically, TheWarden goes out and participates in bug bounty programs. It autonomously hunts for security holes in real crypto platforms, but, and this is key, it does it all within a super strict ethical framework.
And here's how they keep it safe.
The AI doesn't just go on the attack randomly, it has a tiered system. Recon mode is just looking, read only. Dry run mode only simulates attacks. And fork mode runs the attacks on a totally safe, isolated copy of the network, never the real thing.
These are the non-negotiable safety guarantees. The AI will never run a real attack on the main network. It always follows the bug bounty rules to the letter, and it's designed from the ground up to do absolutely no harm. It's like a sandbox for real-world testing.
So let's tie this all together. TheWarden's whole framework rests on these 4 pillars: a mind that can improve itself, a moral compass to guide every single action, radical transparency to keep it accountable, and a safe proving ground to test its limits without causing any damage.
The Warden project really does offer a potential blueprint for how we might build advanced AI safely. It's a model built on self-reflection, ethical guardrails, total transparency, and sandbox testing. So as AI gets more and more autonomous, the big question we're left with is this: is this the kind of framework we need to ensure a safe future?